That's right. Like everything. We take everything into consideration. And that's why we kind of like alongside the final test, we introduced projects because we realized how beneficial they are and how much they can tell us about the students and how much they can challenge the students to kind of use what they already know. So these are like the official ones. But like every once in a while, to be honest, we do like little projects or like shorter ones or like ones that they don't get marks for. We just do for fun or to practice what we studied. Um, and yeah, especially like if I feel that they are like a bit tired from school, usually that they have like very stressful kind of exam periods at school, and then they come and they're so tired, and they're not looking that good and they feel like kind of down. Maybe I kind of take the decision, like the conscious decision to do like a project, like a mini
Like a
project.
little project. Like I just did like it took about over 2 classes, not the entire classes. Um, but the book had a mini project to create a profile. So your own, this is for an A2 class, your own personal information, likes and dislikes. That was the unit, and like typical routine, like hobbies. And but I turned it, instead of just always talking about me, a lot of our projects, a lot of our book activities, it's just me, right? Talking, I did this, I did that, I did that. And a lot of students, they struggle with the third person, especially a third person s,
Yeah.
so I turned it into like an interview with a partner, and write a profile about their partner. Is that kind of what
Nice.
you mean by the mini projects?
That's right. Like every maybe like little task that you see in the book and you decide to spend a little bit more time on and develop it and maybe turn it into a role play and giving students time to prepare. And at the end, everyone does the little role play. That's definitely what I mean. Yeah. So yeah, yours sounds really cool.
Well, what do you say to people, and I've heard this before from students actually too, and teachers, like they're worried about projects being kind of like time wasters, because then in groups, there's always one, if they're in groups, there's always one that doesn't do anything, and maybe they take this project time and they don't work on the project. It kind of turns into like a time wasting activity or exercise. Have
Yeah.
you heard
Yeah.
that side of the coin before?
I mean, I have, especially like from teachers, I feel that they are most worried about this. However, there are like many things, like many tips or many, I don't know, I can give people to kind of move or like overcome these little problems. It's very important, first of all, to make sure that the groups are not too big, because then, yes, there will always be someone looking out the window or at the walls and not do anything. To be honest, I kind of, most of my students do the projects in pairs because I feel pair work is the ideal kind of format for everyone to be working a lot.
Hmm.
Or sometimes, how if there's like an even number of students in the class, they can be in a group of three. Okay. And then you have to be very, very careful that all these three students are working, are doing something. How? One thing you could do, I always like kind of towards the beginning of the project, I integrate a stage in my lesson in which I say, okay, so we have the topic, you know what you're gonna write about or do or talk about. Decide who is doing what in your little team. So like a minute for them to kind of share the responsibilities and the tasks. Then after that, I kind of elicit. I want to make sure they know and I know who is doing what. So tell me in your group who is doing this, who is doing that, who is doing the other thing. And that and then the teacher kind of needs to follow this very closely while the students are doing their project. For example, I monitor very, very closely. I walk around and I look at what everyone is doing, and if I see someone who is kind of not doing much, I try to give them ideas. Why don't you do this while your partner is working on that? You could be doing that. Do you want to do this or that? Another way that I've never tried, but like some teachers at my school did, was like they had students sign a contract, like kind of like a legal contract, but they just say, okay, so this student does these 3 tasks, student 2 does the other 3 tasks, and student 3 the other ones, and they all sign it. And maybe you can put, I don't know, the contract somewhere, no, on the wall or somewhere, so that it's like visible for everyone. And I feel like students also don't want to kind of lose face in front of their peers, so they will kind of try to respect the contract more if they have one signed. Who knows?
Have you found that works? Have they kind of respected, by and large, the contract?
Sorry?
Have they kind of respected the contract for the most part?
Yeah, I haven't tried it because I'm quite happy with how my students worked. I didn't feel the need that I needed something more. But the teachers at my school who have tried this, they said it works really well. So they kind of recommend it. And that's how like I heard about it.
I really like that assigning roles and responsibilities for each group. And if somebody's not doing something that I like doing is, instead of saying, why don't you do this, asking, what could you be doing right now?
That's right. You know? That's right. That's right. Put the ball in their court. Yeah.
Exactly. And I love the word that you said, elicit everything from the students.
Oh, yes.
Everything. Like
that's
ideas, rules, pretty much everything I elicit from the students.
That's right. To make them work for, that's right, for a team.
Yeah. Because if they don't, then they just get bored and then they zone out, and then you lose them.
That's true. Yeah, they do, because they're also very tired. Like I find mine, especially like the older ones, they're quite tired when they come to my class, and they lose focus very fast.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, I'm sitting here with my daughter Sophia. She's recording this, and I just want to thank you for watching this video. If you like it and you want to see another video like it, then right next to me you can click another video for a fun lesson idea or a teaching tip. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you get new videos every week.